What is the significance of shaktipat? What actually it is? Where does the shaktipat phenomena help in sadhana? Is it a door opening for some superconscious world? I have been blessed with shaktipat so many times and gone deep in silence, but after a day or so, it loses its fragrance. Is shaktipat a come and go experience?
Yes, Swami Arvind, it is not a permanent stage because it comes from Osho, from outside. No? So it is not your permanent asset, but it gives you a taste. Shaktipat gives you a taste of your potential, that how blissful you can be, how much energy you are keeping inside. No? It is just give you a taste. No? Shaktipat is divine grace coming from the master. So through medium, his Shakti will reach through internet all over the world. But it can make you enchanted. It will not make enchanted to everybody because everybody is not open and everybody does not have so mad trust. No, trust should be 100%. 99% trust is no trust. No. So the people who have 100% trust, they will really taste the 100% of it. But it is from outside, so it cannot be your permanent asset. But it will give you a taste that what treasure you are keeping within you. No? Once you have a taste, you will long for it, you will try. That stage should be a permanent stage. Once you drop your ego, means the moment you drop your ego, the moment people drop their ego, they become a Buddha. No? The equation is very simple. You are carrying a false identity. Ego is a false thing, but it is so dear to us, no? That very difficult to part with it. So the Shaktipat will give you a taste that what will be your stage when you will be able to dissolve or dilute at least, if not totally dissolve, at least dilute your ego. You are carrying the fountainhead of bliss within you. The fountain is covered by your ego, your mind or your ego. No, it is covered by that. It does not allow the fountain to sprout. No, so that Shaktipat is a spoonful taste from the master through a medium, through internet. Bhagavan is doing a first time this experiment. But otherwise, Shaktipat was always happening in the presence of a master. And master used to touch the disciple as he was doing till 81. In Pune, he used to give Shaktipat. He started it, named it Shaktipat from 77 to 81. It only lasted for 3.5 years. That when he was touching the disciple forehead and through the medium he was doing Shaktipat. That was a experiment to give us a taste and also a confidence So we used to get drunk. Bhagwan, you have seen my pictures when Bhagwan was giving me shaktipat. I used to get drunk, I used to get mad for... First time when it happened, I was mad for 7 days. I was in ecstasy, divine madness for 7 days. Then slowly, because it comes from outside, it is not your own earning. It was a grace, gift from the Master. Anything which comes from outside cannot be your permanent asset. So slowly it dissolves and you come back to your normal stage. But it gives you a test. It gives you a test. And just then slowly Bhagwan stopped doing direct shaktipat. The last shaktipat he did is, I remember I was in Pune, the last shaktipat he himself did on 10th April 1981. Last initiation he gave by himself and gave shaktipat. Then he went into silence, for 3.5 years he was in silence, and he selected medium who were giving sannyas on his behalf. And then Bhagwan said that now my disciples are ready, my shaktipat will happen in my presence. When you will come in my presence for darshan or for discourse or just will close to me, the people, those who are open, they will receive shaktipat. I have not to go and touch you. No? So he started a new meditation. The people of those who were initiated those time, they remember the meditation was satsang, heart-to-heart meeting with the Master. Satsang meditation. So he used to come and sit in silence. No discourse. There was music and silence. In the beginning, music and silence. Later on, we started playing his quotes, his words. No? Music, silence, and his words. And we used to go into ecstasy. The people, those who have been witnessed those beautiful moments when silent satsang was happening, that was the most powerful meditation. Bhagwan was not speaking a word. Bhagwan was not touching our third eye. Just he was sitting silent. And that was the advanced version of shaktipat, that it was happening in his presence. The silent satsang continued till 85. From 81 to 85, 4 years. The silent satsang continued. It was a most powerful meditation, very powerful meditation. In Rajneeshpuram, some people used to go in ecstasy, people used to go totally, there were no feeling of their body and mind for 1 hour of satsang. People used to really go into, there was a satori, a time-bound enlightenment for people who are ready, who were ready. Most of the people used to go into the trance. So during that trance in 85, a ugly thing happened in Rajneeshpuram. His doctor, Devraj, was injected, somebody injected him poison to kill him, because everybody was he was also in ecstasy, and everybody in ecstasy, nobody mind what is happening. So somebody took advantage of that time and injected him a poison. Then he was rushed to the hospital, and by the grace of Bhagwan, his life was saved. But Bhagwan was so much in pain that he said that no more satsang. So because of our stupidity, that beautiful meditation which was happening from 81 to 85, silent sitting with Bhagwan, that was the people who have attended those silent sitting, they know that was the best time in our discipleship journey. That was best time when we used to go into madness by his presence, and shaktipat was happening. He used to raise your hand sometime, and he was sitting and he used to bless. So, but after 85, he stopped it because of that ugly incident happened in Rajneeshpuram. I think it was happened in 85 July. 85 in July. I was there in that last satsang in Rajneeshpuram, and Bhagwan said that no more satsang. That was the last satsang meditation. People are so ignorant, people are so unconscious, they don't know what they are doing. But now he has started. Shaktipat had many phases. As I told you, in the beginning, he used to touch our third eye with help of medium, and Shaktipat was given directly from master to disciple. Mediums were also helpful. There were 12 Ma were selected as a medium. If you see Pune 1 video from 77 to 81, it continued Shaktipat very beautifully. Then it took a much more refined form, that it was happening just in presence. There was no need for him to come and touch. He cannot touch everybody. There were 10,000 people in 81 in Buddha Hall. It was not possible for him to come and touch everybody. But it was happening to everybody by just his presence. That was a refined form of Shaktipat. Bhagavan says that it will happen if you are open in my presence. Now, since the Corona crisis 2019, when I could not travel, I was traveling around many Western countries and conducting meditation camp, giving sannyas, and doing a prayer, some beautiful meditation in which Shaktipat was happening. Like you, Purnima, you remember, we were doing a group prayer meditation in which Shaktipat was happening to everybody. We were doing sannyas celebration in which Shaktipat was happening to everybody. But after the Corona crisis, after 2019, and the traveling was not possible, so Bhagwan created a further refined form of Shaktipat. Now I am also surprised how it is happening. It is happening through the internet. Now there is no need for me to travel around the world. Now people, those who are open, receptive, can dilute their ego. Even, I know it's very dear to us, ego is very, although it is a misery, but it's so dear to us that we cannot dilute it totally. But people who can dilute their ego even partially, they receive the Shaktipat through internet. So in a very new, I have never heard that any master has done Shaktipat through the internet. It's a new experiment by Bhagwan. It's just since last 2 years after Corona crisis, when traveling was restricted, people could not come to Tapoban, and we were not able to go around the world. So from Tapoban now Shaktipat is happening, as it will happen tonight. through the internet. It is the most refined form of shaktipat. First it was physical touch, second it was Bhagavan presence, no? Third it was, he was using few people as his medium. As I was one of the medium when I was travel around the world and do the group prayer meditation or individual prayer meditation or sannyas celebration, shaktipat used to happen, no? But now it is the most refined form of shaktipat. Now it can happen in your room. You have not to come to meditation camp. You have not to travel to Nepal for that or to Nirvana for that. You can be comfortable. Their friend from Russia, Moscow I see, no? So they can receive shaktipat in their own bedroom or their meditation room. So this is the most refined form of shaktipat, much more refined form of shaktipat. It happened the same thing which was happening when Bhagavan used to touch. If you see some pictures in my book, in Wonder with Osho, when Bhagavan used to touch, I was the one who used to cry maximum. So whenever the shaktipat happened to me, I used to cry so much that whole ashram, Pune ashram, knew that, oh, Arun is getting shaktipat. I used to cry so much. And then for 7 days I was a masta. I was behaving like a mad person. No, it used to get 7 days to slowly come out of that ecstasy. No, one touch was enough to make me mad for 7 days. So now Bhagavan has chosen another much more refined way. That shaktipat can happen if you remember him, if you can make a space for it. No, ordinarily it can happen only to disciple. It can only happen to sannyasi, because they make a space. No, here also in the hall there are a lot of people. It may not happen to them because they don't have that much trust on me or on Osho. So it depends how much space you can create within yourself and how much trust you have, how much you can dilute your ego. You will be able to receive that amount of shaktipat. Arvind says that so many times I have gone deep into silence and emotion in that, but after a day or so, it loses its fragrance. Yes, because it is not your earning. It is a grace. You have not earned it. It is a grace from the master. So you will lose it in some. Some of the people lose it in few hours. It depends how much space you have. If you have a space within, you can empty your ego, empty yourself from ego, then it can last for 7 days, 8 days. It depends, no, how much you can drink. Is shaktipat a come and go experience? Yes. It is not your permanent state. It will come and go. But it will give you a test that what treasure you are carrying within yourself. One day you have to unplug. You have the bottle of ecstasy, but it is plugged by your ego. Howsoever I request you to unplug it, you are attached with your ego with super glue. Very difficult to unplug it, no? The day you will realize that ego has given you nothing except promise. Mind gives nothing except promise. It never fulfills any promise. It only gives you promise. The day you will understand the fallacy of mind and ego, and you will be able to unplug yourself, it will become your permanent state. Let's try for that. Let's try. My request is to all my friends that let's try that it should become our permanent state. I don't know how many people are watching this satsang. Even 100 people can unplug their ego, drop their mind. It will be the greatest revolution in the world. If 100 people Stopping their mind means becoming Buddha. Just opening up, unplugging your ego, a fountainhead of bliss will just sprout and you will be overwhelmed by the energy. So even if it happen to 100 people, it will change the quality of planet. Bhagavan has said 200 enlightened person can bring a great change in the human consciousness. No? So let's pray, let's be sincere. We're really hungry, but some of the people are not hungry. They don't want it. No, they think I will do it tomorrow or next year, next time. No, so it should be now or never. So if you have urgency, Arvind, it can happen tonight. If you have urgency, if you can dissolve your ego, it can happen tonight. Who knows? No. So it is not by the time it will remain a come and go experience, but it will give you a taste what is your ultimate possibility.